Well, hello there! Welcome to another edition of Old Man Kelly on Film. Today's part 3 of our series on Edwin S. Porter's 1903 film, Life of an American Fireman. In 2016, this film was selected for preservation in the United States National Film Registry by the Library of Congress as being culturally, historically, and aesthetically significant, and rightfully so. You know, there was a time when this film was thought to have been lost forever, and it became legendary as the first film to use the editing method of cross-cutting or parallel editing. These days, for the most part, it is believed not to be the case. And on the last part of this series, I will talk about the history of this film after its initial release. By the 1920s, most of the early films were no longer available for viewing and many of them disappeared. Everything from the technology to filming techniques had changed so fast that films only a year or two old were considered outdated. Preserving films for history wasn't something that was considered. Life of an American Fireman was just one of those films that seemed like it was gone forever. And because these films were no longer being seen, many of the early filmmakers could make claims as to be the first to do this or that. There was an article in the May 13, 1910 Theater magazine that claimed Life of an American Fireman was the first film to tell a story. Today we all know that's not true. Such early film authors such as Terry Ramsey in his 1926 book A Million and One Nights and Louis Jacobs' 1939 book The Rise of the American Film gave Porter credit for cross-cutting in a film they had never seen. They used existing stills of frames and notes from Edison's archives to come to this conclusion. I re-edited the ending scene of the film the way most people thought it was originally shown. You can see here it cuts back and forth from inside the house to outside the house. And from a modern day perspective, even from the late 1920s, this would have made total sense. And then in 1944, a copy of this film was discovered in the Pathé archives that was given to the Museum of Modern Art. This film was edited in a way to make Ramsey's and Jacobs' claim of cross-cutting to be valid. The film was edited in 13 shots. And from this point on, Edwin Porter was given credit as the first man to use this technique. And then in 1958, a paper print that had been filed with the Library of Congress to copyright the film showed otherwise. This version used 9 shots, the way we are used to seeing it today, with all the action repeating from inside the house, then outside the house. This began a controversy. Some said that the version at the Museum of Modern Art was the correct version and the paper print version was created before final editing, just used for copyright purposes. The controversy continued until 1977, and that's when an actual copy of the film was discovered that was dated back to its original showing, and it was very close to the paper print in the Library of Congress, with no cross-cutting. This, for most people, pretty much established that Porter was not the first. It is guessed that sometime around 1910, somebody re-edited the film to keep up with modern filmmaking. And while Porter is not responsible for a new revolutionary editing technique, the film still stands out as a wonderful piece of motion picture history. Life of an American Fireman is a fantastic piece in the evolution of the modern motion picture. So there you have it. You know, I've talked for almost 20 minutes on a film that's only 6 or 7 minutes long. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed it and maybe you learned something. And I'm not sure what I'm going to talk about next, but if you have a suggestion of what you would like to know more about from the early days of cinema, feel free to leave it in the comment section below. And before you turn this off, make sure you subscribe and like the page. That would really be wonderful. I'd be forever grateful. Till I come back, thanks for watching.